Hi everybody, this is Bob from Buckeye Sports Center. Today we're going to take a look at the 2023 Bayliner VR5 outboard. So this is an outboard model in a very popular kind of 20-foot size from Bayliner. So we'll take a look here, but a couple things I want to point out. Bayliner is obviously a little bit more of a value-oriented boat, but there's definitely a lot of premium features involved in this. But the number one thing I always want to kind of make people aware of, even though Bayliner is definitely more of a value proposition, they do an awesome job on their hulls. They're obviously one of the bigger builders in the world for fiberglass boats, and the way that they construct their hulls, the way that they put them together, their molds and everything like that, it's a pretty awesome ride. Like, I would put this boat's ride quality up against really any other 20-foot bow rider out there. It's a deep boat. It's wide. You see how there's literally 3 to 4 planing strakes on either side, to kind of stabilize the boat, but it's very deep. And ultimately, a lot of customers ask, what's the kind of the most affordable boat that we can reasonably go to Lake Erie on, or if it's a rough water scenario. And this particular boat from Bayliner is usually the one that I would go to because it is so deep, it is such a great ride, but it also doesn't break the bank either. So let's take a look inside. So obviously we're back here where the outboard is. We've got 150 horsepower from Mercury, which really this boat with the Mercury 150 will run pretty close to the same speed as the IO version, with the 200 horse. So the outboard's a little bit lighter weight, a little bit more efficient. So you definitely get really good performance on this boat, even with the 150 horsepower outboard. Other things I like to point out, something that you normally will not see a ton of, at least traditionally in value priced boats. We've got a nice stainless steel rub rail, nice 4-step stainless steel boarding ladder. We've got stainless steel cleats, stainless steel vents, stainless steel hatches. So there are some premium elements to this boat, even though it is a little bit more of a value price. The other thing I really like is we've got this optional C-deck flooring. Again, C-deck's a premium component, but we've got that here on the platform, to make the boat a little bit more easy to enter and exit, as far as not having a slipping area back here. But it actually is a usable platform where the kids can jump on and off. Obviously with the outboard you don't have the full platform across the back, but you do have 2 smaller platforms that are usable. So let's hop up and take a look inside. Okay, we move into the cockpit of the VR5. And again, one of the things I always like to pay attention to is how roomy a cockpit feels for the size of the boat. And Bayliner's always good about this. I get inside here and it feels more like a 21, 22 footer than it does a 20-foot boat. Very roomy, very wide. I like the versatile seating that we've got here. We do have kind of a flip-up seat. There are flip-up over there, so if somebody wanted to actually kind of sit leaning, kind of read a book or something, that actually props up sideways, to give you an optional kind of way to lay out on the sun deck back here. The other important thing to notice is that literally the interior is the same on the outboard or the IO. So this is identical between the outboard and IO. The big advantage that we see on the outboard is we have a lot of additional storage. So let's actually take a look and open what would be the engine compartment on the IO. All right, is now just big open storage on the outboard version. So a lot of people, what I recommend is using it for, obviously additional life jackets, safety equipment. You can roll up some rafts and put them in there. Even some smaller tubes you really don't even have to deflate to put in there for storage. So, very big open space, and something that you just never find on a 20-foot boat. So Bayliner, what they wanted to do here is create something unique in this outboard model. So obviously this is where the engine would go in the IO, but now it's just completely open and available for storage on this outboard version. So there's all kinds of different possibilities you have here. And normally on a 20-foot boat you're limited in storage, but obviously not the case here. There's also side compartments as well, so you can store some other stuff on the port side, but really unique, and a ton of storage here on the VR5 outboard. We also see behind the rear seat, we see a cooler. So this is a cooler with a drain, which is kind of cool. So you can either bring your own regular cooler, maybe you store it back there with the drinks or whatever, or you can actually use the boat's cooler. Okay, a few more things to talk about here in the cockpit. Obviously, this particular boat's equipped with actually the wakeboard tower with the Bimini top. A lot of people don't necessarily use it for wakeboarding, although you can. It's more of a kind of an aesthetically pleasing boat, makes the boat look cooler from the outside. It also makes that Bimini top, you know, a little bit sturdier, kind of being connected to that tower, so people do like that. It's a really, really nice big Bimini top that covers pretty much the entire cockpit. I sit here at the dash area, you know, plenty of room for myself, all kinds of foot room, adjustable driver's seat, full instrumentation. We've got depth finder on here. We've got stereo. All the gauges and controls are all up here. Really, really nice, kind of low profile, so so I can definitely see over the windshield and all that type of stuff real easily. I also kind of like how I've got kind of a built-in armrest on the side of the boat here with the where the throttle control is, so it's really, really comfortable to maneuver, and you don't have to kind of float your hand and elbow up all the time. You know, so really, really well designed ergonomically. So I do like that about this boat too. You know, so overall, really nice, clean dash area. It looks a little bit more, you know, definitely looks kind of more like a more premium dash. So they do a nice job with the little visor up there. Again, a nice, clean windshield. You know, really well designed and laid out overall. We move over to the port side, and this is a feature that I really like, is this versatile seating feature. So again, this is not something you normally find in a value-oriented boat, but a nice big stainless steel piece here. We can pull that up. We can face backwards like it is now. We can actually face forward more like a co-captain, or we can actually flip it all the way down to kind of create a rear-facing kind of lounge area, you know, to create a little bit more interior space. So really cool setup with that. We move toward the bow. I do like this big, again, storage is something that normally you don't see a lot of, but a nice big storage compartment there on the port side. Got the cover stored in there now. And then again, moving to the bow, a lot of times what we do is we compromise when we make the cockpit as big as we do. We get up to the bow and it's really stubby and really small, but again, me being 6'2", I've got all kinds of space. It's a good depth up here. You know, so really roomy big bow area. So, you know, Bayliner just does an awesome job of maximizing the space, and, you know, really an impeccable value for, you know, this size boat for this price. You know, the outboard, you know, somebody asked, well, what's the advantage of the outboard? The outboard in theory does have a little bit lower maintenance costs. You know, you can use it longer into the season. You know, a lot of fishing guys prefer outboard, and this boat can be fished out of pretty easily as well. So, you know, overall, just a different way to go. You know, obviously you get additional storage space in this outboard layout. So, you know, really nice boat overall from the VR5 outboard. So thanks for joining us to take a look at the 2023 Bayliner VR5 outboard. In conclusion, it's just a great overall value for somebody looking for, you know, that outboard power, something a little bit bigger, a little bit more roomy for the family, you know, multi-use, whether it's fishing, family use. You know, if you wanted to use it on a bigger lake like Lake Erie, I definitely, you know, certainly on a calmer day, I think this boat is more equipped to do that than many others in its same size range. So thanks again for watching. For more information to view our inventory, BuckeyeSportsCenter.com, as well as checking out our YouTube page where we post videos on Bayliner and also, I think, 13 or 14 additional brands as well. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the water.